Warriors do not play until Wednesday when they play Portland at home. Tickets are still available for that. Kuminga!
College is the best point guard. Podziemski, a little floater.
More bucket or one more stop. Trace Jackson Davis. Oh! He put the entire country in France!
The highlight clips that you just saw basically sums up the future of the Golden State Warriors. I mean, in case you're out of the loop, Jonathan Kuminga is hooping like a beast right now, while the Dubs super rookies Brandon Podziemski and Tracy Jackson Davis are playing like they've been around the block for a long time now. With guys like Klay Thompson and Andrew Wiggins visibly declining, the stellar play of these three young guns are actually one of the reasons why the Dubs are still alive and kicking in Wild Wild West, along with Mr. Number 30 of course. And in this video, I'm going to talk about why JK, Pods, and TJD are going to be the next deadly young big three in the NBA. Now let's kick off this conversation with the dude who's been making a lot of noise as of late, Jonathan Kuminga. After 2 years of painstakingly waiting and being patient, there's absolutely no doubt that the Dubs have completely unleashed JK this season. And based on his performance thus far, it seems that there's no stopping this kid from leveling up his game to new heights. I mean, so far this season, Kuminga has established himself as the secondary scoring option for the Dubs behind Steph, as he already tallied 18 20-plus point games while averaging 16 points on 12 attempts per game, which was a 7-point increase from his average this season. And on top of that, he's also grabbing 4.8 boards, dishing out 2.1 assists, while shooting efficiently from the field at 53%. Now, throwing the stats aside for a sec, we can now clearly see the game of JK evolving right in front of our very eyes. I mean, 2 seasons ago, Kuminga was just another nuclear athlete who can only score buckets using his hops and insane athleticism. But see, this season, we're now seeing the work that he's put in improving his offensive game as he now develops some new moves in his offensive bag. Like this one. Kuminga backs Trey Lyles here on the block. Then, all of a sudden, he pulls a little bit of a shimmy, then punishes him with a smooth fadeaway that will put a smile on Kobe's face up in the heavens. And here against Wendell Carter Jr., he did the same thing. He softens the meat first, before cooking him with a right shoulder fader, this time taking a page out of MJ's book. I mean, his patience in hunting for his shots is quite evident now, and if you take a look at those clips, you can see that he's now more relaxed and appears to be more comfortable in finding his spots offensively, unlike before where he would just rush in to take the first scoring opportunity presented to him. Anyway, the other thing that I noticed about him this season is his increased strength. See, here's JK backing his way inside the paint once again. But instead of going finesse, he takes advantage of the size mismatch as he just pounds the little guy guarding him for the and one finish. And in this sequence, look how JK just bullied Daniel House like a little kid before punching it through with a two-hand throwdown. The significant improvement of his mid-range game, as well as his strength, makes JK a more dynamic offensive weapon since he's now slowly evolving into being a 3-level scorer. Now, apart from that stuff, Kuminga has also been really active in moving around the court without the ball in his hands this season. And this makes him an additional scoring threat in the Dubs lineup, aside from the usual suspects like Steph and Klay. I mean, here's the chef orchestrating a 2-man game with Draymond, and after breaking away from his defender, Steph tread inside the shaded lane. Then he locates the cutting Kuminga, who sneaks his way behind the last line of defense. Then, on this play, Saric clearly has nowhere to go, but instead of turning the ball over, there's JK yet again to save the day, as he cuts in the middle and scores the easy bucket. But see, as I talked about earlier, the thing that really makes JK super scary as a bucket getter is that while he added new offensive tricks up his sleeves, this young dude can always use his raw athleticism to get the job done. I mean, just check out the people he wrapped inside a body bag this season in the following plays.
Mighty! 6 to make. Cam Johnson with 13.7 rebounds.
Ron Artest, you need to have what a
Without question, JK is playing and moving like an all-star this season. And aside from Kuminga, there's actually another secret weapon in the Dubs lineup right now. That goes by the name of Tracy Jackson Davis. Drafted as the 57th overall pick in the second round, TJD has seen limited floor action in the early stretch of this season, which is pretty understandable because Steve Kerr has a reputation of not giving rookies huge playing minutes. But when the Dubs rotation was cut short due to a slew of injuries, Kerr had no choice but to plug TJD in. And despite the limited minutes that he got, TJD showed up and produced solid numbers. I mean, from December 17th to January 13th, TJD averaged 11.9 points, 7.2 points, 1.7 assists, and 1.1 blocks while shooting at a high clip of 74% from the field in just the span of 2 weeks. Now, even though he's still not seeing consistent minutes, TJD is always ready when his number is called, especially when making key stops against the premier players of the league on the defensive end. Look here, Jaylen Brown thought he got a free lane after blowing by Pods. However, out of nowhere, TJD just spiked his attempt against the backboard to complete this impressive play. Now, up by 4 here in OT, the Dubs needed a crucial stop to put this one to bed. Brown yet again managed to squeeze his way against the first line of defense. But see, there's TJD once again coming from the weak side to meet him at the top and denying him with this monster block. Well, speaking of monsters, the Greek Freak also tasted TJD's defensive wrath in one of their matchups this season. And let's just say that things didn't end up well for the two-time MVP during their encounter. I mean, here's Giannis mano a mano against TJD. Giannis tries to destroy him with his signature downhill drive. But at the end of the day, it was Giannis who got destroyed by TJD with back-to-back rejections. And once again, Giannis tries to force the issue here, but trailing him from behind was TJD, and just like the previous play, he made the Greek Freak look like a scrub by slapping his attempt against the backboard yet again. The Dubs never really had a solid two-way big that can complement Steph and CP3. But now they have a rim-protecting and rim-rolling big in TJD that they can rely on both ends of the floor. Now, on the offensive end, TJD is also a perfect lob partner to the Dubs guards because he has the hops as well as the instinct to roll inside while shooting at a high rate.
They signed him to a 3-year, $51 million deal. Darvin Ham says, hey, we really believe in the guy. Back in for the Warriors. Looking for an opening. No look! Jackson.
This high screen roll again. The body, the bump,
Anyway, we would not be ending this video without mentioning who I believe is the sleeper pick of this draft. And the guy I'm talking about is none other than Brandon Podziemski. Despite being selected as the 20th overall pick in this year's draft, Pods is playing like a top 10 pick with the way he's making an impact across all areas for the Dubs this season. In 57 games that he played thus far this season, Pods is stuffing the stat sheet by tallying a mini triple stat line of 9.7 points, 5.8 rebounds, and 3.9 assists, while shooting 45.1% from the field and 37.8% from 3. The dude may not give you a ton of points each night, but there's no question that he'll give his 100% every time he sets foot inside the hardwood with his hustle plays while providing energy and intensity on both ends. On the offensive end, Pods gives the Dubs another smart playmaker who can make decisions on the fly when their offense gets stagnant, and aside from this, he also uses those same smarts in getting crafty around the rim when he's hunting for his points. See, here's Pods sizing up Grayson Allen at the wing. He drives going to his right, then, when he sees Nurkic, he spins the other way before laying it in with his left hand. Now here's where Pods' craftiness comes into play. So, same thing, he drives to the right, but instead of using his strong hand, Pods goes for a high looping sweeping hook to finish it off on top of Powell. And in this play, Pods attacked once again, but this time around, he fooled the Clippers defense by doing a smooth Euro step, then laying it in for a wrong foot. Anyway, as you saw in the previous highlight clips, Kuminga, TJD, and Podziemski all play an important role in the Dubs system, and even though they lack the experience, unlike their veteran counterparts like Steph, Klay, and Draymond, these young guns are definitely more than ready to take the big leap. and there's no question that they will have a big role to play, especially when the Dubs are making a deep run down the line during the playoffs.